Am I a scientist? Nope. Do I have any kind of a college education? Nope. Do I have a PhD? Nope. Am I any kind of a soil expert? Not even close. I just had listened to what a man told me about the products his company sells. Frank at Coast of Maine. Coast of Maine is a whole new company I never heard of. They were here in South Carolina. He was promoting his company. I listened to what he had to say. Took him at his word. He gave me some products to try. We're at the end of June. It's only been a couple of weeks. But I decided to do the Coast of Maine challenge. I put up Coast of Maine against my compost that I've only been working on since last year. The compost I worked on before that was already used up in some other beds. I put it up against Miracle Grow, my dirt, and Coast of Maine. I used 3 5-gallon buckets. I used 3 tomato plants that were approximately the same exact size. They all started on the same day. I planted all 3 buckets the same way. They all get the same exact amount of water. As a matter of fact, I haven't even been watering them because for the past week and a half, it has rained like crazy. So if you want to see where we're at, and it's only been a couple of weeks, take a look at this. Coast of Maine is the first bucket on the left. Miracle Grow is in the middle. My dirt is on the right. Is this a scientific study? Nope. Did I bring in anybody for any advice? Nope. Did I read any books? Nope. Will I do this again on a larger scale? Absolutely. Am I going to fill up several beds in different places in the yard? Try it in shade, try it in sun, partial sun? Yes, I will. Now, I have some good dirt. We've been working on it for 4 years. And it's producing. As a matter of fact, now these plants, we started them on Super Bowl weekend. Super Bowl Sunday. And those tomato plants are full of blooms and full of tomatoes. That one plant right there has probably 60 or 70 tomatoes on it already. All of our tomato plants are thriving. So it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. But I put up some dirt I started last year. I put up Miracle Grow. And I put up Coast of Maine. And as far as I'm concerned, the results, they speak for themselves. It's only been 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks. Miss Karen is going to be very happy to see that the garlic she planted is coming up strong. And honestly, I'm not sure if this was the hardneck or this was the elephant garlic, or if this was the hardneck or the elephant garlic. I might have to dig one up. I might actually have to dig one up to get an idea, because I'm a little confused. She didn't put any tags in the ground when she was planting, so I don't know which one is which. Anyway, it's only been a couple of weeks and her garlic is thriving. We're excited about that too. All right, let me snap that. Okay, snap that off. Now I break these little bulbs apart, and these will be brand spanking new. And there's another one down here. These are going to be brand new Egyptian walk-in onions. I pulled the tops off, so I got quite a few now. So every one of these little bulbs is going to be a brand new onion plant. Now, I can tell you, this right here, one of the most sweetest, delicious onions that you can use for cooking. Most of the times you pull an onion out of the ground and you use the bulb. These Egyptian walk-in onions are great for cooking stir fries. They're good for in salads. They're great as a garnish, but it's such a sweet, delicate onion flavor. Different than almost every onion we've ever grown. So right now, I pulled all these bulbs. I'm going to go start a whole bunch of brand new onion plants. Egyptian walking onions. I'm going to walk them over to the other side of the yard and start them in a new place. These ones in the pots, they are starting to grow so good that we're going to increase the size of the yield by planting more. Just another little funny note. This was the top of the plant, and because I had them up on these tables and these pots, this did not hit the ground. It was hanging in the air because of where I had it, so it sent out some new shoots. And this Egyptian walking onion, it's determined to increase the size of its garden, or the size of the plant. Maybe one of you horticulture experts can tell me what it's called, but I'll tell you right now, this plant is going to reproduce itself no matter how hard I try to stop it by putting it up on the table. And that's not really what I was trying, but it apparently went ahead and sent out more shoots off the bottom. Look at that. Now this is a regular top of a Egyptian walking onion. But if they don't hit the ground, they'll grow new shoots because it's determined to get these in the ground. It's just amazing, isn't it? Just amazing to watch these things grow. Egyptian walking onions. This is going to be one of my new favorites every year. Okay, so each one of those little pieces that was on top of one of those onions, they all get planted. Every one of them. Now I'm using this Coast of Maine tomato flower bed mix because I got a hunch if it does really good on my tomatoes, it's going to do really good on the onions. And don't forget, these Egyptian walking onions, when these, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. Yeah, we're going to have definitely, because some of these trays have 6, some of them have 9. But each one of these little bulbs is a new Egyptian walking onion plant. That was 2. Just trying to use one hand and just push it down in the dirt. Now it's the 25th of June, so it won't be long. Another week or so, these will pop up. There we go. I miss having a tripod out here. Tripod makes life a lot easier when you're trying to put some plants in the ground and videotape. But I just wanted you to get an idea. We only have 3 flower beds that have Egyptian walking onions. Yet, well, they're not really beds, they're just big pots. So we have 3 pots that have Egyptian walking onions. And I pulled enough of these little bulbs off to start all these other trays right here. I hope I get them planted right. I'm running out of little holes to put these in, so guess what? I'm going to do a double. This is a double one. Let's see if 2 onions will come out of that one. Okay, there's one in there. Let's get one down in here. Might have to put a couple in this one. All right. I guess I have one. That's not one. A teeny one. And I'm not sure what this was doing. Almost looks like it was going to flower. But it was on the end of one of those ones I pulled off, so it ain't going to do anything now. I'll try. There's a couple of little solid pieces in there. I'll try to plant them. But there you have it. Egyptian walking onions. 3 or 4 big pots. We break the pieces off the top. We plant them in these little dirt trays. And every one of these is going to become a new walking Egyptian plant, which comes back every single year. It comes back stronger, bigger. The onion flavor is fantastic. I owe it all to Greg and Carla at Gracious Farms because they started me. They just gave me a couple little pieces off the top. And that was two years ago. And now, all of these, every one of these is going to be a whole new plant. Egyptian walk-in onions. And oh yeah, Coast of Maine, a bag of Coast of Maine dirt. We get some really good results out of this. Might have to look them up at your local store. And you can grow too. One pot, one plant, one patio. You're never too old, you're never too sick, you're never too out of shape. And a little bit of sweat. And it's still early in the day. We'll be back later on. So we go 9 high times 2, that's 18. One in the front is 19, a couple on the sides. We try to get 25. We might be able to. But this will give us 4 or 5 more raised beds, maybe 6. Once we get those big planters on top. Because that's how you get some raised beds. It's only been a very long and productive day. And I'll tell you what, we got 3 more beds done now. We filled them up with all the leaves and the half composted garbage that we put in our compost bin, you know, pine needles and leaves. And I mean, it's already substantially broken down with some leaves mixed in. We're gonna now put our dirt on top. It's new dirt. It's not really old. It's not really decomposted already. But we're gonna put some really good stuff on top, and we're gonna start a bunch of seeds. And next year, these beds will be ready to really turn them around and mix them up real good. But for now, I'm gonna grow a bunch of cilantro, a bunch of basil, and a bunch of dill, and a bunch of other herbs that my wife wants to use in the kitchen. And it's starting to get dark, so this is gonna be it for the day. And I guess it's real close to the end of our video. Now we've had this stuff sitting in pots for weeks waiting. It's taken me weeks to get to these beds. I wanted this stuff growing already, but always something that gets in the way. All right, this dirt was already pretty airy and light and fluffy, so we're stirring in a little bit of vermiculite. Always helps the roots a little bit. And we're just gonna put like 3 or 4 gallons on the top of each one of these beds. And okay, let me try to videotape one more time. I'm trying to mix in some vermiculite, maybe 3 gallons in each one of these beds. I don't want to add any peat moss because the dirt that we're using is already broken down and it's already got a lot of light fluffiness to it. So I don't really want to put any more peat moss in here. So we're just going to stick with some vermiculite, and then we're going to put some of our really good compost on top. Videotaping with my left hand while trying to show you what I'm doing is a little bit inconvenient, but I really wanted you to see what it looks like. Hey Anthony, do me a favor. Go ahead, throw it in there. I want to get it on video. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. These seeds are going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy on this mix. I believe that. I'm just trying to be a little bit more awake, because in my last video I was falling asleep. It's late. It's been a long, hot day mixed in with some rain. But these 3 beds are going to be fantastic. I am ecstatic about them.